Hello and welcome to another episode of Kwesi's Corner with me, Kwesi. In association with Drumshack, today we're going to be admiring the playing and the approach of Mr. Chris Dave. But we will be appreciating his drumming and a particular video that he did, and trying to, maybe not break down, but trying to conceptualize a couple of things that he did from it and seeing how it can translate into real life, my life. Watch the struggle up next. Alright guys, so here I am about to watch this video for the first time. I watch my fair bit of YouTube, you know, when I'm not doing anything, but I haven't seen this video before, so should be quite interesting, a little watch, so let's see. I'm prepared to be inspired. He's got a weird technique with the fingers, but his stances and his poise and control is just next level. Rudiments, guys, rudiments. Very interesting track, very interesting. Great use of dynamics, which is something that Chris Dave is known for. Really love his approach, always have. Ever since the initial Glasper splurge, as it were, you know, with the first album and then Black Radio, but even before then, the kind of stuff that he was doing, using multiple snares, was mesmerizing. And obviously he's got drum heads as well, which I'm aware of. Listened to that album a few times. Some of you Chris Dave fans must have watched the drum heads album with Isaiah Sharkey and the rest. Very impressive stuff. Use of control is amazing. Everything's nice and low. That's what I realize. Nice and low. Snares are nice and low. Cymbals are nice and low. I noticed that he crashed oftentimes on the one. And certain things that he was doing, as in crossover from snare or side snare to hi-hats, I find it quite interesting. His use of rudiments, also very appealing. Being a rudiments enthusiast, I would say. I'm not a rudiments guy, still got a lot to master, but, you know, rudiments enthusiast, you know, to see him implementing those in grooves. Very inspiring, to say the least. You know, for those of you who didn't know anything about Chris Dave, I mean, he's been doing stuff for some time now. I mean, he's been playing on tracks and doing bits and pieces that people, you know, are just not aware of. He can hold a groove just like anybody. Obviously, his use of that many snares, if I'm honest, does not surprise me in the least, because, you know, why not? He's that creative. Let's pull up a couple snares. I've been very inspired by him in terms of the extra snares, putting stuff in weird places, and not using a rack tom or finding something else to put in place of a rack tom. I personally believe that it enables you to look at things a lot differently and creatively. Obviously, there's a rack tom on this video, but it's actually not a rack tom, it's a snare. So we're going to experiment with a few bits and pieces based on what he's inspired. Like I said, I started using a side snare because I thought, hold on a sec, I don't have to use a lot of these toms. they're too heavy to carry anyway. It's a lot to carry for the smaller gigs where I needed to express myself with interesting sounds. Why not take a leaf out of the Chris Dave book without trying to be Chris Dave? So, here we go. Let's mess about a little bit. Okay, so we have here some ideas based on the video we watched. Okay, so what stood out to me was that little buzz roll that he did. So he had a nice little pattern. Buzzing at the end. I can try and take aspects of his playing or things that stood out for me personally, and you can do that too. Remember, it's not just with this particular drummer, but we're focusing on this for this video, obviously. But you can take aspects of that and you can mess with it. So based on the video that we watched, you should be able to see some ideas that come from that. Not trying to do exactly the same stuff as him, the same groove, but just messing around, or not even the same groove, or not even, some of the concepts based on what he was doing in that video. I'm just spreading it out with what I do know already, some rudiments, and just trying to make it interesting for me and relevant for me, because it's already very interesting stuff that he's doing. But again, there's only one Chris Dave. So me trying to copy it would be wrong. So I take what I want, I conceptualize it, I try and put it in context of what I already have with the tools that I already have, and try and just make it relevant and interesting in regards to the music that I play already. Obviously I've got a couple of snares here I'm just messing about, seeing what works, what doesn't. That's the fun of it. It's just literally going make a mistake and go again, what else can I take? But these are just flurries of ideas that will come on just based on the little bits that he was doing, and then focusing on certain bits. I know I'm being very vague here when I say certain bits, but that's what it should be. When you look at someone's video, when you look at someone playing and someone doing their thing, but sometimes it's just one idea in the flurry of ideas that might stand out to you that you'll find useful in whatever. You might always use it. Man, the amount of drummers I've listened to growing up and the flurry of ideas that I've got, bang, I just use one aspect of a whole solo, or one aspect of, big thing that they do. It comes out in the least, kind of expected way, because that's his style, that's an amalgamation of all the interests, whether outside of music, just none from a non-drumming perspective, lifestyle, life experiences are culminating in what you see of this mad, crazy, amazing drummer, and released in a series of flurries, cymbal flurries, grooves. I believe that really, if you look at a video, any video on YouTube, as you're going scrolling, you're like, this drummer's amazing, and you go away from it without kind of learning anything, taking anything away from it. That's, how does this person approach this? Whether you feel that you're better than them, whether you feel that you've got more groove than it, that's inconsequential. What can I take from that that's interesting for my situation? I know I'm repeating myself, but that's just how I do it. So when I look at the Chris Dave video, or any of the other videos we're watching, subsequent, reaction videos, it's the same principle. What can I take away from this? That's an interesting aspect. What does he have there? Why does he have it there? What kind of sound does it create? Why does it create that sound? How does it create that sound in that particular style of music that he's playing, etc., etc. So in the case of the side snares, yeah, I'm messing about. I'm fiddling with rudiments, etc., etc. I'm trying things. I'm getting things wrong. In my mind, I'm getting them wrong. But ultimately, it will come out somewhere. So I think you guys and anybody who's watching this who doesn't know how to kind of like express themselves, look at a drummer like Chris Dave, for instance, who expresses himself in the most odd way, but the most fun way. And, try and think, what would I do if I was in that situation? Not trying to be him, but trying to kind of emulate a sort of kind of confidence that comes from an amalgamation of life experiences focused on that one performance. So here we have it, little reaction and trying to figure out my way of interpreting what Chris Dave is doing in the most silly way. There you go. You guys can do it too. Be encouraged. Everybody has their own style and their own path to take. So you see me struggle along yourselves and see where it takes you. Without further ado, salute to Chris Dave, amazing drummer, and a big inspiration for me personally. And I hope it, even if you don't like that style of music that he's playing or whatever, maybe you take something away that's quite interesting and move forward with it. So, yeah, have fun. And thanks for watching. If you like what you've seen, if you enjoyed me struggle, please like, subscribe. If you didn't and you want to see me do real easy stuff, and 4/4s and 4 to the floors, dislike this video immediately so that boss can see that like I'm a 4 to the floor. No, I'm joking. But yeah, let us know what you think. Does Chris Dave inspire you? Who does inspire you? What kind of videos do you want to see me watch and react to in terms of their approach or different bits and pieces that you would find interesting in their play? Let's see. And without further ado, I bid you a good night.